The 90s affordable sports car era was amongst the most exciting times in automotive history. You had cars like the Honda S2000, Acura Integra, Mazda Speed 3, Toyota Celica MR2, and of course, the infamous Supra. Japanese car makers essentially did what Seiko did to the watch industry in the 70s. They developed a much cheaper and more reliable quartz watch that nearly killed the entire European mechanical watch technology. Truth be told, there are a few things you should know about Japanese culture. Precision, precision, and precision. They'll do one thing and they'll do one thing really well. And if they give you a sports car, you're really gonna get a sports car. And then the 2000s came around and the Japanese sports car era was dead. The Gen X and millennials like myself started growing up, having families, and started running out of money. People needed more practicality, and that's when the crossover SUV took over the entire industry by storm. It was a car that everyone needed, but no one really wanted. Fast forward a few more decades and Toyota finally brings back the Supra in 2019. It's now 2022 and I am a bit late to the party, but on a virgin note I can say that this car is absolutely phenomenal, and it all starts off with the looks. I first saw the Dodge Viper down in Michigan Motor City maybe 8 years ago, and I still remember just how intimidating it was with its massive front hood. While the Toyota Supra isn't a big muscle car, it's got a similar roadster vibe with an elongated front hood, ultra short rear overhang, and one of my key favorite features, the double bubble rooftop silhouette that doubles up with increased headroom and improved aerodynamics. Up front is made up of a unique 6-lens LED headlights and an ultra wide intake grille to keep the engine cool. At the rear, you got a really cool integrated rear spoiler and a sharp and heavily chiseled rear LED taillights. Overall, I just can't get how absolutely stunning the car looks. There are plenty of cars that look good, but in my opinion, what makes a Supra so unique is its demonstrated proof that both form and function can so elegantly coexist, especially from a consumer brand like Toyota. The engine is the beating heart of the Toyota Supra, and that makes it the most controversial topic. It's outsourced to BMW, and while that doesn't sound ideal and upsets a lot of purists, it just makes the most economical sense. You see, when the Japanese sports car era died in the 2000s, they had to find a new competing edge. Toyota chose to make massive commitment and investment in developing the world's most fuel-efficient and reliable hybrid powertrain engine on planet Earth. BMW, on the other hand, continued the research and development of high-performance engines, mainly because they had the loyal customer base to back them up. Yes, Toyota and Lexus does have some high-performance engines, mainly the V8 and V10 on the LC500 and LFA, but both were just too expensive, too heavy, and just not practical for the everyday Toyota Supra. Rest be assured, despite the hybrid DNA approach, this engine packs a ton of performance and, more importantly, defines a unique character of its own. Two engine configurations are available, a 2.0-liter inline 4 producing 255 horsepower, or the more powerful 3.0-liter inline 6 producing significantly more horsepower at 382. Both configurations get an awesome ZF 8-speed automatic transmission and a unique rear catback exhaust. The GR 3.0 not only produces a whopping 127 more horsepower, but it's got higher performing components as well, including 4-piston fixed caliper Brembo brakes, adaptive variable sport suspension system, and a multi-clutch active rear sport differential. Both the latter upgrades significantly improves the traction handling and cornering capability of the Supra. The base 2.0-liter GR Supra comes in at $43,540, while upgrading to the 3.0-liter will cost $8,400 more, or at around $5,200. The Supra is just so unique that it's just one of those things where you should just get the best of it in any way you can. It took nearly 20 years to see the resurrection of the Supra, and with the internal combustion engine slowly phasing out, this just might be the last Supra we will ever see. I just feel that the 2.0-liter just doesn't do the Supra justice. That is, unless you're going to do an engine swap. Now the Toyota feels incredibly transparent. I can feel every bump on the road. I can hear every raindrop, every pebble. I can even hear the tires gripping onto the road. Typical to Toyota is what you see is what you get. Take for example this really simple instrument cluster. It's got nothing but a digital speedometer, an analog tachometer. It shows you the gear as well as a time, ambient temperature, and engine coolant temperature. It's heavily driver focused, and I really like the overall perspective that gives you a very race car like experience. Now the entire center console essentially comes from BMW's parts bin. It's got a basic 6.6-inch infotainment display that can be upgraded to a larger 8.8-inch display. It's also running on BMW's infotainment system, which is also really nice. You've got a basic radio as well as dual climate controls, and of course you've got the BMW iDrive system. Shift it to the left to put into manual shift mode, or shift it back into automatic shift mode. There are a few updates that I wish that Toyota made. For example, I don't really like these plastic paddle shifters, and I think the steering wheel could be a bit more beefed up for what the Supra is really capable of. Now, but overall, this Supra does feel pretty incredible, and with the GR 2.0 liter engine pushing it, definitely has quite a bit of pull to it. And it's only got 255 horsepower, but man, it does push that power out really quickly. What's also really nice about the powertrain is that it also does come with an incredible ZF 8-speed automatic transmission. And I've driven a lot of cars with a similar transmission, and this transmission feels phenomenal with exceptional crisp, sharp, and quick shifts. However, I would say that the GR 2.0, the shift responsiveness isn't the quickest. For example, if I click the paddle shifter, it takes roughly about half a second to 1 second to shift depending on what the engine RPM is. But that's not really the fault of the transmission. I really think that it's probably just due to the lack of power from the engine that's not able to pick up power quick enough between different power bands. But where you really get the money's worth is in its handling. I mean, this thing is so responsive. I've never really felt anything like this. Now the suspension feels really good on the GR 2.0. Upgrading to the GR 3.0 also gets you into adaptive damping suspensions. Typically speaking, you only see adaptive damping suspensions on more luxury high-end vehicles that tries to strike a balance between performance and comfort. But the fact that they put it into the Supra is really incredible in the sense that they're able to control damping for performance metrics only. And I also really like these Brembo ceramic brakes. The GR 2.0 only has single pistons, but you can still stop on a dime. Now the GR 2.0 has a basic limited slip differential, but the GR 3.0 has an active limited slip differential. Essentially, it's got a multi-plate clutch that's able to dynamically control how much slip there is in between the rear wheels on the back. I do have to say that unfortunately I only have this car for a week and I'm just loving every single minute of it. I really don't care how much my wallet is being drained every time I push on the throttle, and oh my god, it's just so worth it. And the handling just feels absolutely incredible. I've never really felt a car that can handle just this well, at least never for a really long time. And I really love these seats and the incredible lateral support. I almost feel like I'm in a baby stroller. Now it's also got a pretty good exhaust tone. The GR 2.0 does sound a little bit more muffled, but I really wished I got to test drive the GR 3.0 liter. Overall, I'm just loving every single minute of this car, and I wish I could just do this all day long. Now with the GR 2.0, you're obviously getting a lot less horsepower at just 255 as opposed to a colossal 382 horsepower with the GR 3.0. On the brighter side, it's going to cost you $8,000 less, it's going to weigh 200 pounds less, and it's going to get better fuel economy at 28 miles per gallon on a both city and highway drive cycle, making it a bit more practical for everyday use. However, with the GR 3.0, you can definitely get much more upgrades, especially with active damping suspensions, as well as a variable or active limited slip differential. There is one thing that I wish there was, and that would be a manual transmission. The Toyota Supra brings back the thrill and excitement that was lost over the last few decades. It packs a ton of performance and, more importantly, has an incredible driving characteristics. Now, the GR 2.0 that we have here with the inline 4-cylinder doesn't quite do the Supra justice in my opinion, but it does give you better fuel economy and makes it more practical for everyday use. Nevertheless, that's my take on the 2022 Toyota Supra GR 2.0. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and please don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, keep keep driving, and until next time.